Alright, change of plans. Initially, I was going to do the compression test in the Jeep frame, but I listened to a lot of your suggestions from the first Cj5 video that I did, and you're all suggesting that before I turn it over or do the compression test, that I really should prime the system. Well, the plan is to rebuild the engine, and if you watched the last video, I told you I had built a engine rebuilding room in my basement. So rather than me try to spin this over here in this little garage in these crowded conditions, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the engine and get it over to the basement. So I need to prep this thing and get this Jeep engine ready to get pulled from the frame. Now I got a lot of stuff stored in that tub, and I need access to the back of the bell housing so that I can remove the bolts so that I can pull the engine and leave the transmission behind for now. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to get some of these parts up overhead and get them sort of out of the way into storage so that I can work on this Jeep a little bit easier over the next coming months. I told you I wanted to, in the first video, that I want to pull the body off. Well, I can't pull the body off. I got all this junk and shit in it. So today we're going to do just sort of the bigger parts, get it up overhead. Now, whether or not I get this thing pulled and into the cellar or the basement in this video is really going to depend on how much time this takes and how long this video gets. But that whole pulling the engine and putting it in the basement, I think, is going to be a video all by itself, because I'm going to put that engine, or this engine, in my basement using a backhoe. And one of my buddies, Jeff Ford from Auto Resto Mod, said to me that would make a fantastic video, and he would love to see me put this engine in the basement using my backhoe. So I think I'm going to do that. So that'll probably be a standalone video. Now, today is the last few days of September. It's almost October. It is raining outside. It is cold. It is damp. So if you hear the rain in the background, that's what you're listening to. All right, let's get this tub cleaned out, and let's see if I can't get the transmission and the bell housing unbolted from this Dauntless V6. So there is the room, if I can get them up there, for these fenders. Now these fenders are OEM. I bought these back in '77 when I started this whole restoration. And I'm not sure you can still buy OEM Cj5 fenders, probably not. Boy, it doesn't leave me a lot of room to work here. Fortunately, they don't weigh anything. I'm gonna get hurt. That went easy. We're going to throw some stuff away too. the trades we call throwing unnecessary shit away 5S. So if you're into manufacturing or lean manufacturing, you'll know the definition of 5S. Because every one of us wants to save something, and the excuse is always because we may need it someday. And that leads to junkyards in our backyard. That's 2 fenders gone. So decades ago, when I started this restoration, I started buying parts. I mentioned that I wanted to hot rod this V6. Well, here's a set of straight tube headers for the V6. Again, back in the day when you could buy this. I'm sure you still can. There's number 1. There's number 2. So the truth is, I want that up there nice and secure because I don't want it coming down on my head. Oh, there's so much junk. This is a box full of parts for a old vintage Singer sewing machine. I don't know. I don't know. This plastic needs to find a new home. I'll in the trash. Need this styrofoam anymore. This is a brand new OEM transmission cover for inside the Jeep. I will never use this pipe. The original glove box, that's going to have to go over there on the parts shelf. So, tough built, halogen, quartz halogen driving lights to go on the front of this thing. I think we're so far beyond that technology now. I do want to stand up this hood temporarily until I get a chance to move it. Gaskets for the manifolds. This is a brand new jerry can holder. for the back. I'll probably put that up in storage on the other right wall too. And just to prove that we were going to be light and bright, here's a third halogen light for the bumper. Coax cable, or not coax, but Romex. Alright, that should give me access to the through holes to get to those top bolts on that bell housing. And we like it. Skid plate for this Jeep. Brake pedal for this Jeep. Rubber fender extenders for this Jeep. Bungee cords, because who can't live without enough bungee cords? Sledgehammer, because sledgehammer. Squirty oil can. 70-year-old screwdriver. For all you hunters out there, this is a hook to hang a deer from the ceiling. Yeah, it really was. Alright, that gives me enough access. Let's start unbolting that transmission. What I want to do is unbolt the transmission from the back of the engine. I have a chain fall here. I don't know that I'm going to need that, but I'm prepared for it. And I can run a strap, a lift strap, under the engine if I need to take any weight off. The ring gear and the clutch should come out, which means I'm going to have to lift this and move it forward. And I've got a good 7 inches that I can bring that that engine forward when I'm ready. So let's go ahead and pull some of those bolts out of the transmission, or actually out of the bell housing. Now there are 2 bolts on the top of the bell housing, and I have to access those from inside the Jeep tub. And I've actually, years ago, I cut 2 holes in the floorboard of the tub in order to get through there with a wrench to access those bolts. Before I do that though, I want to go on the other side and remove the bolts on the other side that I have access to. So this is the starter, and there's a bolt right here that that's a cover for the bell housing, and I don't know if that needs to come out for removing the engine or not. There's a bolt under here, and the problem is I can't get that under there. This is a bolt here, and I can't get that bolt. This is a bolt here. Good Lord. There we go. We have all of the bolts out of the bell housing that we can reach from the front of the firewall, and that includes the bolts on the bottom for the bell housing cover plate. Now I need to go inside to the tub and get in behind through the firewall and grab those last two that I believe are the last two that are keeping the transmission secured to the back of the engine. All the bolts are loose, I think. And now what I want to do is put a little bit of up tension on the motor using my chainfall, and then try to pull out those bolts in the engine mount to the frame. Yeah, and then we'll see what happens. Grab that other.
Okay, this.
Okay.
What?
I don't think so. Okay, so I need to spread that out so that it's, yeah. Alright, so we've got some tension on the motor. It's actually lifting the whole Jeep and frame off. Next thing I want to do is pull out these engine mounts. Alright guys, this ends this video with my Vincent Price lighting. This was a lot of work getting it to this point, and it's getting more difficult at this point because I don't have a lot of room to work in. So we're going to get this outside. It's raining right now, so we're going to get this thing outside and see what we can do to get access and figure out what I might be missing still to get this thing lifted up. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, and I hope you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I am trying to grow this to 1,000 subs. I appreciate you guys, appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video doing something. See you later, guys.